Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? It's Ravi and Danny, right?
Right.
It was Ravi and Danny with Bread and Butter Moves. Listen, we got some really good news for y'all today.
A moment in history.
I think the last video that I made, I was talking about how Danny was meeting up with a gentleman who owns a consignment warehouse where he finds estate sales, right? And then he basically buys these items, stores them in a warehouse, and he resells them on online platforms. Or, you know, he gets like customers that come in, you know, by appointments and like, you know, kind of walk around the warehouse and just kind of hand select items that, you know, that they like, and, you know, more of a I guess intimate experience. But right now, he's looking to just get rid of things quick. He has multiple warehouses of items. One of the biggest difficulties that he has right now is that listing items and just being completely and too busy to be able to do it himself. So this is one of the ways that we thought, you know, that we could really help him out, and many other ways. But we sat down today and we had to negotiate. And did the negotiation go exactly as I hoped it would? Not exactly, but based on our situation and based on what I've mentioned in the last video, it could be quite helpful. We're gonna have to hustle. We're gonna have to grind. We're gonna have to put ourselves, you know, in a predicament where, like, we may get tired. You know, we may get a bit overworked, but we gotta do what's required, you know, in order to get to our goals. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna have Danny explain to you how. Right? You want to explain how to, you know, I'm gonna try to pull off and try to get us home, but I'm gonna have her explain to you how that whole entire process went. All right, I'm gonna be right here. Danny,
Can we hold it?
let him have it. Yeah, you can hold it.
Okay. So the conversation started yesterday, and
I got you. I know how much you hate that.
Oh, thank you. And pretty much the situation is that they don't have much of an online presence when it comes to like their listings. They're very used to doing things in person. I guess I would say they're kind of old school, but they're trying their best to like be more present online. So traditionally, the way the business would do it, they would do commission splits on sales, and that was the original like type of payment plan we were hoping for. We were hoping for a 70-30 split on sales. Anything that we sold, they get 70%, we get 30%, which could end up being really great because they have a lot of really high-end pieces. But in actuality, if we are working online, a lot of those higher end pieces might not be what we're selling per se. But still, it could end up being really good, you know, because we have experience now selling on eBay and online, and we have an idea of like how the algorithm works. So we have that upper hand. We can kind of like get their store started and get them some consistency so that they can see sales, and it would pay off. But their business is not in a place where they can afford that commission split right now. So the guy, it's a yellow guy. The guy, he told us today that although he would love to pay us the 70-30 right now, he cannot do that. He can only do $15 an hour.
Man, I tried.
He did.
For hours negotiating.
You did.
This guy was like,
we sat down with him for 2 hours.
We become friends, you know, over time. Like I said, he's a customer of ours. And he was just like, all he could do is 15 an hour. He made some mentions about like how things would work with his account situation with that, to be honest. There just have to be some clarity when it comes to that, and ultimately the whole process went with us going back and forth, me trying to get at least a tiered commission system for Denny. Now, granted, he's not going to be able to pay us both on an hourly basis, so I said, hey, listen, you pay me, Denny will be my assistant, considered my assistant.
Well, the reason why he did that was actually because we trying to do some strategy type stuff.
Yeah. No, based on how he thinks, he feels like, based on how it is like, like if you work, you have to be paid. And so I was like, hey, listen, pay me as an entity. You know what I'm saying? Don't pay me and have to pay Denny separately. Just pay me as an entity. You know what I'm saying? I'll still help out. You get what I'm saying? And do whatever is required to help Danny in the process, where I don't need to take a payment. You pay me what you agreed to pay us, and then whatever other help that I do, that's on my own. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of the setup that we really have right now, but it's at $15 an hour. He wanted to
3 days
do
a
it
week
for 8 hours for 3 days a week, 8 hours
a day.
And
so he that's all he can do right now, and he wanted to do it for 90 days.
90 days.
And considering, like, for one, I was a little shocked that he said 8 hours a day. I was like, what the heck am I gonna do for 8 hours a day? There is a lot of stuff in there, but I'm just curious, like, what are they really gonna want me to do? Because they have a lot of big stuff that you're not gonna want to ship, but they do have a lot of smaller stuff too. So I guess what it's gonna look like is just me getting the smaller things listed and maybe some of their clothing. But the positive is that it's flexible. It's 15 minutes away from our house. We know them. Like, it's not really gonna feel like I'm working, because I've already been doing this for the past couple months, and it's something I'm interested in learning more about, because they have, like, we only do clothing and fashion, but they have a lot of stuff in there. They have jewelry, they have paintings, they have so many, and a lot of vintage too. A lot of vintage pieces, valuable pieces. So yeah, that was the original
they have a lot
offer.
of valuable pieces. So the thing is that they didn't really he didn't really think, his mom thought that it would be great for us to do a 70-30 split, but I know there's a lot of high value items in there, and so I was just thinking, like, let's say we do sell a $10,000 item. That's like $3,000 they would have to pay us out, and I don't know if they're ready to take that big of a cut. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like they went out, did the work, found the pieces. All we're doing is really listing it and just putting some keywords in and shit like that. You know what I mean? So
they would love to take give us that kind of cut, but they can't right now.
They can't. Well,
because the mom was down.
Yeah.
She was telling him to do that, because she has been doing this, and she usually does a commission with people who are doing what she expects us to do, which we still don't really know 100% what it is. But yeah, at the end of the day, the guy, he knows the numbers. He's the one that's really doing the business stuff.
He's looking at the numbers, so he's like, based on the numbers that he has right now, basically he said he's drowning and he can only do $15 an hour.
$10.99 by the way.
$10.99, yeah, obviously, but that
which is very low.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
But Robbie was able to negotiate it a little more, because he said the guy originally said after 90 days we'll talk about it again and see if they can start doing a commission or add it, or upping the pay a little bit. And Robbie was honestly, we were only thinking of doing this for 30 days with them, seeing how it goes with them. But since he said 90, Robbie suggested 60, and he agreed to that. And
He didn't really want to.
yeah, he did not want to, but he ended up agreeing to 60 days. And then after 60 days, Robbie suggested a tiered commission system, which I thought was a really good idea because I've actually gotten paid like that before. And basically it's like we create tiers for the profits that they're getting, and then according to each tier I'll get like a lower percentage. It doesn't have to be as high as 30, but it could be like around 15 or somewhere in that ballpark, or depending on the value and whatnot, you know. So he seemed to be open to that, but he's really trying to stay by the books when it comes to his bookkeeping. And he has an accountant that, I don't know, sounds like she does not really help him with strategy too much. So when Robbie pitched that, you know, there was some back and forth. He wasn't sure if they were going to go for it, but he ended up saying he was going to talk to him about it. But for now, we agreed that starting next week, I'll go ahead and start helping them out at the warehouse. And no set days, kind of just like whatever days work best for the both of us. So that's where we're at right now. And you know, it's a start, you know. It's more than we were getting yesterday.
No, yeah, I mean? and right now we pay like about $1,500 for rent. Yeah. So even with doing that, it'll kind of offset that, you know, rent payment that we normally have to make every month. Granted, we have to put our bodies on the line, but hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, anything helps. That's a little more money that we can actually put towards our debt. So I said, hey, you know, let's take it for now.
Yeah.
Do it for 60 days. Let them see how you work. Let them see your value. You know what I'm saying? Bring money into the company.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That way you have a little bit of leverage and just figure it out. You know, like figure out some new terms of agreement. And like I said, like I think that tiered commission structure is really great.
I thought that was a great idea.
I tried to even get him to let us list the clothing on a 70-30 basis, but everything was, you know, he had to think about it. But you know, kind of just really he's a by the books kind of guy. He just want to make sure everything is right, you know. As much as I try to, you know, convince him that, you know, everything will be fine, he had to get the time. He had to get the time to think about it.
Yeah.
So
and run it by his accountant and his mom.
Yeah, but it was cool. You know, he bought us some pizza. We ate some pizza at Mamma Mia's, and
he is honestly,
he got
at
me
the
2
end of the
beers.
day, he's a great guy.
He's a great dude. You know,
he always feels the need to compensate us for our time, even if we're not directly like helping them with anything. He's always been that way because we've helped them out in the past, like which.
We have to move items. He needed help moving items.
Yeah, exactly. They were moving from one warehouse to another because their warehouse was like falling apart, and they had to get it out of there fast. Otherwise, their merchandise would have been in jeopardy. So, a year ago, we helped them move into the place that they're at now. They have made progress in organizing, but a lot of the stuff that they have there has just been sitting there for the past year. And it's like
they have a lot of stuff.
They have stuff. They have a warehouse in the back. Ceiling to floor is just stuff, and it's not junk. It's not even junk. It's good stuff. And it's like they have packaging materials as well. He showed me he has all of his flat rate boxes. He has his bubble wrap. He has his tape. He has his weights. He has his lighting and his backdrops. It's like it's all ready. And he told me that he'll get anything that I need.
Okay,
to help get. And also he proposed. Tell him about like how we can use his space and stuff.
So basically, like just to kind of give you the rundown of the deal that we took. For 60 days, it's $15 an hour that's going to be paid out to me. Yes. Danny is my assistant, right? But really and truly, Danny is actually the one working and making the money. But that help, Danny will have my help. You know what I mean?